Oh. Hey, it's Parlay Pete. How you doing, man?
Well, hello, neighbor.
Long time no see. Where you been?
I've just been tending to my greens and tomatoes and whatnot out here.
How's the
How about you?
family?
They're good. They're good, Lee. How are you doing?
Oh man, not too bad. I'm just sitting here, wearing some championship Georgia gear. I just couldn't put on anything else. I just I wanted to feel good today, so I put on some champion gear.
You wanted to feel something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like micro penis.
Look, it's certainly something that we've all dealt with, and I think we deal with maybe a little too much, at least when it comes in regard to the team that we're going to end up starting off with. But first of all, only because I didn't catch the beginning of the show, I have no idea if they addressed it or how it went. Happy fucking birthday! Obviously, today is not your birthday, but for the audience out there, yesterday was Lee's birthday.
Thank you, and thank everyone for the birthday wishes. I greatly appreciate them, and for those who didn't send me birthday wishes, noted.
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 Let's talk a little bit about it. Did you end up at least getting something decent to eat? Like, what did you? I mean, I know obviously you had to work and it's on a weekday, but I mean, did you cook yourself a good meal? Did your mom make you a meal?
My mom wanted to go out to eat, but I had to record with the guys for the Village Vets, and I thought that would be a great birthday experience because I didn't go out. I don't have, a lady in my life who would just, pamper me for my birthday. So I had some smothered pork chops that I made the other day.
Okay.
Over a little brown gravy, over some rice, with some corn and some green beans.
I'm not mad at that meal.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, and like I said, we had a great pod yesterday, bro. So kind of a quick recap on it because we had this one topic, and I was like, bro, you would have loved this topic. Because Todd's getting ready to become a dad. So he wanted to just address it on the show.
Head on.
I mean, yeah, but he wanted to address some of the women who had some not so nice things to say once, he popped out with his lady and baby on the way and all of that stuff, hit dogs holler.
Right.
And he kind of addressed that. And then we kind of had a conversation around it. And it was just like a good conversation because I'm sure it came up in some conversations you had when people found out. Well, I don't know. Because you're not a social media guy. Did you get any angry or bitter anything when people found out that you were a dad?
No, I didn't. I mean, there's some people that don't know to this day, as crazy as that sounds. And it's not because it's something that I hide, but it's not if we're not a well-connected, if I don't talk to you, or if you're not somebody that is a part of my daily life, the reality of it is that that's just not something that I put up on social media. But anyone that knows me knows that I'm a father. So it's kind of one of those things where I don't know. It's not something you can, I guess, pronounce this type of stuff to the world, but I haven't done it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. If the people who know, the people who matter know, and if you don't know, then all right, bet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a dad. It's It's really simple to me. But again, I don't feel the need to like put my daughter online or anything. It's nothing against anyone that does, but like I just
Are you
I put it this way: everybody that's close to me has met my daughter, so it's like one of those things where I don't, you know.
You're trying to hide. You're trying to hide from the women that you have a daughter because they don't.
Yeah, no. Well, they have to know. So like they absolutely know too. Like anyone that I've talked to, like of course they absolutely know. But like,
well, no, you're hiding it from them. You're living a double, triple life.
No, I would. You know, it's crazy. I mean, I know Drake had said it, but like, I wasn't hiding my child from the world. I was hiding the world from my child, type thing. And
no, Drake was lying.
Yeah, but that's why I disclaimer that I wasn't lying. But what he said made a ton of sense. So
Drake did not want the world to know that he fathered a child to a soft-core adult actress who he also engaged in what they called it, a train with A$AP Rocky with. Yeah. I don't think he wanted to know that was his baby.
That's all hearsay at the end of the day. I mean, we don't know. That could very well be true, but
well, why else would Drake throw the line, the Rihanna line?
That doesn't mean that they ran a train. That could just mean that he slept with her at one point. I mean,
that's what the rumors say, but
you know, you'd be surprised. There's Morehouse dudes that are friends with guys whose wives, that like they're friends, but then like my friend slept with you.
Yeah, no.
And they know that, but they know that, like in the back of their head, like they know that.
Yeah, that doesn't work for me.
It wouldn't work for me either, honestly. I don't think I could do that. But there's some people that are better than me then. Like they're I'm not even gonna call it mature. They're just their skin is a lot thicker because
I'll tell you, there are some girls that I have at one point in my life that I wouldn't have considered dating because they were like with a guy who was like in my circle. But if said woman today could pop into my life and I will be perfectly okay with it, knowing her past with that other person, but that person's like no longer in my circle. So like it don't matter.
Well, I guess we get some funny comments here, but I guess for me, I look at it more from the standpoint of you see the comments? They're funny as fuck. But I guess for me, I look at it from the standpoint of I just wouldn't. Yeah, that was like the first one, but then yeah. All right, I think the shit's funny as fuck, even if it's trolling. But
engagement, we appreciate it. Let's go to the super chat.
This is what I'm saying. Like, I think it's funny as fuck, to be completely honest with you.
Did you get bots for the show?
Did I do who?
Did you get bots for our show today or something?
No.
Did you send the link to our guest who flaked, who got booked last minute?
I did not.
Yeah, me neither.
Nigga
didn't even open the fucking thread. He just saw it and was like, yeah, okay.
All right.
Because I ain't opened that thread either.
This shit stank. I think I'm gonna be honest with you. Wait, but I'm not even upset like about it. I think I'm more just like I think it's distracting, like more than anything. I guess I could probably move it over.
Yeah, let's lock in. Let's get ready for our first segment, man.
Yeah.
It's the real one, baby. I'm telling you. Southside, we gon' set this party off right. Westside, we gon' set this party off right. Man, I promise. She's so self-conscious.
I wanted to cut it, but you can't really cut this verse.
No, this is one of the classic Kanye verses that will always land and as a song will never fail, right? Like
we had the conversation last night, the verses, and like who will win Drake, Nicki, and Wayne, or Ye, Jay, and Rihanna. And I'm
I
not
don't
going
even
to.
think that's really a question.
Yeah, right, bro. I was like, I just don't. I don't
Nicki
know why.
Minaj doesn't have more hits than Rihanna. Drake would be the one going against Kanye, and I think Kanye, as great as Drake is,
Kanye's versus God.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think he can lose a versus really to anyone. And then Jay-Z to Wayne, I guess it just depends. Like, what's the basis? Because if we're basing, is it mixtape too? Like, what,
bro? But if we're if the three camps go and say it's a 30-song verses, and we're not gonna have this. We're not gonna do this long. If they do like 30 songs, right? Well, we're not gonna do 10 from each person. We're gonna pick the 30 best songs / verses from these people's catalog, right? Because you might have to pull out "We Taking Over" for Wayne. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's one of his best main verses.
Or somebody made a very good point. You know, Wayne, I thought Body Show Me What You Got more than Jay.
Well, yes.
Right. So if he pulls out the mixtape catalog, he could do a song that's a Jay beat, an actual Jay song, and be like, okay, well, you play Show Me What You Got. Well, now here's mine. Like,
do you think Jay would allow that?
No, but but versus has never been a mixtape thing anyway. But then again, we haven't really had mixtape. I mean, I guess Gucci and Jeezy kinda, but like,
I mean, even Jay has to approve their playlist for him to show up.
Until Manny Fresh is DJing and just plays it. Nah, that wouldn't happen. But
because you'd be blackballed from the industry forever.
Them niggas all been blackballed anyways to begin with.
Yeah, but let's get to what we're really here for. I wish I had some rotten tomatoes to throw at this rotten coach and this rotten football team and this rotten handler. And hell, the DC was fucking rotten last week. He let Bryce Young throw for a career high, 450 and 3 tubs?
No turnovers.
Like, this is Bryce Young we're talking about. The guy with one of the lowest yards per attempt since Vietnam.
Yeah, a guy that if you looked at his stats today, but somebody said this was in 1942, you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. He was running the wishbone, you know? And so, or better yet, this guy was at Army. He was like playing quarterback at Army.
Bryce Young is good for like 21 for 30 for 174.
Interesting fact, his last 3 games combined, he still fell 100 yards short of what he did to us on Sunday. So think about that. 3 games combined, he was 100 yards short, and touchdowns, he was 2 short. And then obviously he was -3 in the turnover department. In those 3, and then he was +3 in this game. And obviously they were impressive win against the Packers, but they were 1-2 in those games.
We're the worst team in the division.
Well, we'll get to find out on Sunday, won't we? Because that's what's at stake. Last place.
Well, you know,
if we lose, we drop to 0-4 in the division. We have the same record as the Saints. So that would mean we're in last place.
I'm not even going to be able to watch it.
No, the game's at 4:25.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it is a late game. So worst case, you would get at least you get there by halftime.
Yeah. Yeah, I just missed the first hour. Yeah, it'll be more than halftime.
Yeah, and it's not even it's not a 4:05 start either. It's a 4:25 start.
Yeah, so I should probably first. It's
man, you'll probably get some second quarter.
Yeah, I should get.
This is what I'm saying.
But so I did not watch the game in its entirety. I did watch the fourth quarter and overtime. Shout out to the guys who pay me. What the fuck happened?
Well, let's break it down. Penix was playing pretty well. I don't.
Oh, Terry's getting fired now. By the way,
is that breaking news?
No. With Penix having another ACL surgery.
I thought you meant it was official. We knew that he was. We knew.
Yeah, but I'm just saying with Penix having another ACL surgery.
So before I break down the game, just because you're bringing up firings, Lee, they're going to clean house. And I mean, when I say clean house, I think Rich McKay is going to be gone too. I think the house is going to get cleaned.
I think we need to get if Rich McKay gets fired, I don't give a damn what anybody says. We were one of the first people calling for Rich McKay's head.
We've been calling for it for years.
Yeah, like years.
Like years. But when I people think like last year. No. Years.
Yeah, we're on like year 5 of calling for
Matt Ryan still had another training camp to get ready for with the Falcons when we were calling for this. Yeah. So like this isn't something new. I want to say that COVID was still shutting down certain states when we were talking about this. And so, my biggest thing is this, and I spoke with Justice. We spoke ad nauseum about it because we were talking about the betting odds for Sunday.
Hey, you want to call? You want to do our quick piece? Then give him a call. Because we haven't had
he might be Ubering.
Okay.
Now he might be okay to still do it. Yeah, if you want, shoot him a text. But we talked about this because basically once Penix obviously got ruled out officially, we kind of knew because they had said it anyways. And it was weird because we didn't know. So on Sunday, when he got hurt, nobody knew the severity. It was just like, oh, he's not going to return. But he was on the sideline. He's smiling like he's on the sideline. Like he's not in the locker room. So it's like, okay, Michael Penix might not, like, he tweaked. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. It wasn't like and even when he went down, he walked off the field. So, again, nobody really knows what's going on. But you look at the game and the way that it transpired, and you don't just shake your head to the idea of, well, the Carolina Panthers swept the Falcons. It's just more along the lines of this. What are we really doing? How do we get better in one position that has plagued us for years, which is getting to the quarterback? We're second in the NFL in sacks. We're second.
And I hate, real quick, you're already seeing them creating the narrative of the Falcons being dumb for trading the first round pick. They got the right player. Remember the player. Don't think about the projected draft pick. They got the player.
Well, I guess we would have to see if there's a player that's drafted in this class that's a pass rusher that's better than him.
No, not even a pass rusher. Think
impact that could have helped our team.
What player in college football have we watched that would be a need for the Falcons, or because you could say quarterback is a need, right? But they're not gonna. They probably don't do that unless they clean house. But like a position worth a top 10 pick and a player that would have immediate impact.
And we also got Xavier Watts. People have to remember that we did get a third from them too in that deal, and Xavier Watts was the pick. Now, this is what I was going to say, because you were saying what player.
Yeah, but get back to your point. I just wanted to throw that out there before I forgot about it, because it's a very important thing to note that we didn't lose that trade.
We did not lose that trade. We're about to eat up at least 45 minutes here.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously, talking about this, because it will be a deep dive. But, okay, to my point, the idea was this. We're second in the NFL in sacks. We've been probably 4 of the last 5 years have been last. And then I know one of the years we were like second to last. But over the last 5 years, we don't have that type of production out of that position. Now we do. You got this production at this position, but we're continuously losing games now. So it's kind of like, how do you take one step forward at maybe even 2 steps forward at the worst position that you've had all season, and then everywhere else, it seems like you took a step back. You're 6-3 last year, or 6-4. We'll even say 6-4 because we're 10 games in. You're 6-4 last year at this point. You're in first place in the division. You're
2 wins over Tampa.
Optimistic about the future, even though things aren't great. It still is like, okay, this team is still a playoff team. Like, you can do this. Terry Fontenot. I hate it for him because he's not truly, of all of the big three, coach, GM, president, he deserves to keep his job the most. But you got to clean house.
Yeah.
You got to fucking clean house, man. This season it's not only over already, but like they've got to do something completely different, like all the way around.
This sounds so podcasty, local radio, trying to go viral. I think Arthur Blank needs to sell the team. Now, we can fire Rich, give it a couple years, and see. Now, mind you, this is me talking as a Falcons fan and what we need to be successful, not me talking about real life and business. He should not sell the team for business purposes, and I don't think he will. But the organization isn't buttoned up. We don't win, like, we lose games. Outside of Matt Ryan's last year, we've predicted the Falcons would win 10 or 11 games.
Well, doesn't it seem like we're almost being trolled?
But hold on, Parlay Pete. We can pull up the games and go through them and talk you to our prediction. And not like hyperbole, like, oh, we got screwed here. It's like, nah, bro, nigga dropped a pass wide open. Oh, no. They got in the field goal range and he made the field goal. Or he missed the field goal. Or we made the field goal. Then on the kickoff, the guy broke to like the 38. And they got 2 first downs in 10 seconds of game time. And they're about to walk it off with their field goal kicker. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Or we miss an extra point, or we have a stupid 2-point conversion that we give up like early in the game, and then that changes it from ties to field goal only gives you a 2-point lead. You know what I'm saying? Or they're up 1. You know, just the weird stuff that happens to the Falcons. So like, it's crazy because every year we make similar predictions, and you see it almost play out. So it's not just the players. It's not just the coaches. It's not the quarterback. It's not the GM. There's only 2 people, front-facing people. Obviously, there are other people who are in their ears that have been there forever.
Correct.
But there's 2 constants, Rich and Arthur. Well, you know what? The owner's never going to fire himself. I mean, as an owner of a team, the Falcons are a consumer product. They are a good and a service.
Yep.
At some point, you got to read the comment section. You know what I mean? You got to read the Yelp reviews. If you start getting the same comments and the same Yelp reviews, you know, every girl leaves you for the same reason. It's not them. It just might be you. Rich McKay. It's not all these people you fucking fired over the last 20 years. It might be you. Again, Arthur Blank, I could say the same thing to you, but you own this. You can do whatever you damn well please. And I am in no position to tell you what you should do in the best interest for your portfolio, because you could buy me many times over. Like, you could, the amount of money that you could that would take for this podcast to be a great podcast, you wouldn't miss it. Like if we just stole a couple million from you to get this thing really up and running, like build out a fucking studio, all this other shit, and have some money to pay some people to come sit and talk to us to make us look cool, and get one of those nice little green walls to take pictures with our guests after.
Oh man, not the green wall.
Yeah. Arthur, you wouldn't miss it. Like your money's guys like assistant would be the one who would catch it. And it would never get to you because it'd be like, bro, don't bother Arthur about $2 million. He's gonna make us do way too much work for some money he doesn't care about.
I don't think Arthur is in totality the problem because he's done a lot of good for the Falcons. Like I'm not the type of person that looks at what he's done for the community. For the Falcons, I think that he's done a lot of good. Right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize how bad ownership was prior to him. Now, the only reason I even know, I was only 7, 8. But the thing is this. A lot did change that I could recognize even as a kid. Not just the winning, like we did win more. You know, they changed the jerseys, right? Vic, Jim Moore, like we changed the jerseys. But like a lot just changed. It felt like the Falcons were headed in a direction of we're tired of being obscure.
Yeah.
So like when I look at him, I don't think that he does not want to win. I think that whoever, aside from Rich McKay, who's obviously his right-hand man in football, it's the other people around him that weren't telling him, get rid of this fucking motherfucker. Because this has gone on for a minute now. It's hard to believe that he's bonded this friendship with him. And that's why we always make this joke of like, he's in the Epstein files. And Rich has the proof. Because it almost doesn't make sense because of what has happened over the past few years with the Falcons. It's one thing to have a couple of down years. As good as Arthur Blank's ownership has been, this has easily been the worst portion of Falcons football in the franchise's history. They've never gone more than 6 years without making the playoffs. We're about to be on year 8. Think about that. You spent this money on.
Damn, the Browns.
You paid a quarterback $100 million coming off an injury, and then you drafted a quarterback that has knee problems and is like noted knee problems.
And
I like Michael Penix.
And you're trying to get Deshaun Watson
while chasing out the best thing that's ever happened to the franchise. The one thing that's brought stability. We've got plenty of great players. Anyone can argue me till they're blue in the face. Julio's a Hall of Famer. Matt Ryan might not be. But who's more important to the franchise? Matt Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Matt Ryan's more important to the Falcons than Julio Jones. I don't care what anyone says. Because he is. But you chased him out to get a dude who ended up being butt. Now, we don't know how it would have played out if he played here in reality. I mean, he did go to Cleveland. But, like,
I mean,
he could have been better. He might have been happier here.
Hold on.
I don't know.
Cleveland's been to the playoffs twice in the last 8 years.
Did he play in any of those playoff games, Lee?
No, I'm just saying. You're saying it's Cleveland, but hell, over the last 8 years, they've ran a better operation than we have.
Yeah, they won one playoff game.
They've had ups and downs. We've just been
stagnant.
Well,
it's been like
we went down, then we just stayed at.
Yeah, no, we're riding a wave.
Yeah,
but the wave, it's not a high tide type wave either. Like it's just like a, something to where you're okay with your kids going out there with their boogie board.
Bro, we might not even
because they won't really get swept by under that wave.
Bro, we might not get the 8-9 special this year, or the 7 and 10 piece. We might be talking 6 and 11. 5-12.
I think that the biggest issue with the Falcons, and this is, almost like us in a confessional at this point at a Catholic church. It's not like the Falcons can't do this. And when I say do this, I mean be a consistently good franchise. Not win a Super Bowl, be a consistently good franchise. You know why? Because we've actually seen them be a consistently good franchise for at least half a decade. At least half a decade. We've seen it. From 2008 to 2013.
Bro, no.
They made the playoff 4 times. So,
go 08 to 17.
In the year.
No, go 08 to 17. That whole, even though we had some down years, just the 08 to 17, that era.
In a 10-year stretch, you made it 6 out of 10 times. And this is why I did the 5-year sample, because even in that 5-year stretch, the year we didn't make it, we were 9-7. So it wasn't like we had a winning record even that year, right?
Yeah.
Like we were, Matt Ryan missed 2 games his second year, and who knows? Chris Redden started those games. Imagine if he played, we might have made it 5 straight years. But I think that it all starts at the top. And again, to get back to the point of how we even got here, Arthur Blank. I plead with Arthur Blank to do this. I don't have an issue with him as an owner for the city of Atlanta. I have an issue with him as an owner of a football team. Please hire somebody that knows something about football if you don't care enough to know about it yourself. Jared cares to know about it himself. Irsay's daughter, and Irsay, for what it's worth, who a lot of people don't realize this.
You're the GM.
Exactly. He worked in football. Like, he worked in football too. And which is why I'm sure his daughter is so passionate. That's why her ass is on the fucking field. Please hire somebody that does care about it. I know he's an older dude. I know Jerry's pretty old too, but
Jerry played at Arkansas. He was a college.
Nobody's asking Arthur to be Mark Cuban. We're not asking you to be all up in the GM's ear, the coach's ear, come to death row. Nobody's asking them to do that. What we're asking you to do, stop listening to Rich McKay. Fire Rich McKay. That's the first thing anyone should do in this organization. Even before Zach Robinson, anyone else's fate. Let's get Rich out of there.
You know what? You fire Rich.
Ryan's still a bad coach.
No,
I don't care what anybody says.
No, he's
a bad head coach.
You replace Rich before you even fire anybody else. Like, Rich needs to be fired in 2 weeks.
Rich
needs to retire.
Well, and I feel like that's what's going to end up happening. It will be a Rich McKay. It's a mutual party. That's what I think, to save face. Now, Atlanta rejoices because of it, but okay. So this gets back into the conversation I had with Justice, because we talked about this because it came down to the betting angle, and I was like, the Falcons are inconsistent.
You shouldn't bet on the Falcons ever.
Well, that's the point. And so, but then we broke it down and we went deeper, because then we started talking about, we know that everybody in there knows that they're dead man walking. There's no way. Let me tell you, seriously, I will proclaim this today on November 19th at 8:56 p.m., 2025. If Raheem Morris or Rich McKay is still with the Falcons, I will no longer support this team. If they're there at the end of the year, I'm not supporting this team anymore. And I mean it. I really do mean it, because I can't continue to invest Sundays. Fuck the money. That's already been spent. And then whatever's going to get spent would get spent. I can't emotionally invest in this team anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it from that perspective. It's one thing to just have a bad roster and knowing shit's going to be lousy. It's another thing to have a wide receiver who, again, has missed a game, is top 5 in receiving yards. You've got a running back who is top 3 in all-purpose yards, but only behind the presumable front runner of MVP if there was one that wasn't a quarterback, and Jonathan Taylor and then Christian McCaffrey. You've got that at your running back and your fucking wide receiver.
And you're second in sacks.
Oh, and you're second in sacks in the NFL. This is bullshit. And everybody should look at it that way. This is bullshit. And anyone that thinks that this is okay, then you continue to be a fool. But I'm not going to continue to be fooled by this shit. Not anymore.
And you know what? A thing about that is how many good 1 o'clock window games have we missed because we're watching the Falcons? You know,
whether at the game or watching just on Fox.
Yeah, or like watching the Falcons at home because you know you're going to be watching the Falcons, and it's like, man, I could have went to brunch and casually watched football today. and I would have had fun, and I still would have known what's going on with football. Now, I'm hammered at 4 o'clock and I'm pissed off.
You're hammered. You spent a lot of money on a ticket, a lot of money on PSL, a lot of money potentially on alcohol, gas. Like, now, look, I get it. Let's not act like this. Let's not act like some of this stuff isn't baked. This stuff is baked into the experience. So, like, I don't want to me bringing up gas or anything. You don't have to drive down there, but that is baked into the experience, win or lose, and you know that we're not going to go undefeated. So there's going to be times that you go and you're not going to win. It's not about that. It's about years of doing it. It's like, let me tell you, it's like being abused. Like, and I know that this is such a bad way to like try and say it, but no, I need people to hear me out.
Yeah.
I've never been abused. So I guess it's like, well, how could I speak on something I've never been? I can only imagine what it's like to be abused. But whenever I hear those that have been abused stories, the way that I take it is that this goes on for years and you kind of continue to take it because that is the way that it seems every time I've heard it. I've never heard anyone get hit once and then the nigga gets locked up for forever or white man, whoever. It doesn't matter. Nigga is too general, but like.
But hey, remember this. You deal with them hitting you because.
But it doesn't even have to be physical abuse.
Right. I mean, you deal with the abuse because you can't imagine your life without that person. I can't imagine not being a Falcons fan.
Right, which is why I'm comparing it to the abuse. Like,
yeah, I know. I'm just helping you drive it home more, so like people don't think we're being like
I don't want anyone to think I'm being insensitive about abuse, but it's honestly abuse to fans because that is what this feels. It feels like abuse.
Bro,
it feels like we're being abused, whether it's financially. For some people, look,
bro, I have bad days when the Falcons lose.
Me too. I mean, and when I say financially too, I don't just mean buying the goddamn ticket. I mean, I bet on the team too. Now, look, that's my problem. But but at the end of still, it's just like somebody can say buying the tickets is your problem. But like, I'm just saying. When something, what's the definition of insanity, Lee?
Doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Bingo. So that's exactly what's going on here with this Rich McKay thing. And that's why I didn't mind pronouncing this about, 5 minutes ago, that I just won't support the team anymore. Because if he's there at the start of the draft, I can't do it anymore because I know what's going to happen. Like, imagine being a fan of scary movies and knowing who the fuck's going to die every single time. You know they're going to trip over the wire. You know that Jason or Freddy's going to be right there. And there's nothing you can do about it but continue to watch it over and over again, knowing they're going to get slaughtered.
Bruh, I ain't going to hold you. I was thinking the other day, I'm like, dang. I might do like a Hawks 10-piece or 20-piece next year.
Which we will get to that if you. I know. I'm sure you did.
I did my. I went through pre-production. Come on now, I'm a professional.
Yeah.
But no, so, I'm really thinking about. I might just do that instead because.
Man, fucking are the Braves. Goddamn it! I mean, at least with them,
it's the battery.
They're closer to you right now. I know that. Once you move down, but they're closer to you now. The tickets are cheaper on a per game basis.
That's the battery.
They're winners. They won.
Yeah.
Fuck the recent World Series. They're just winners in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, we want to win the whole thing, but gosh, again, like you said this a few weeks ago. You said it multiple times over the past years about a one Julian Turner. Man, I die to be in your position. I'm okay with just if our stagnant is make the playoffs every year and have a winning season, sign me up. Yeah. Sign me up, God damn it.
I mean, just think about this with the Braves, right? They had a down year. They got hot late.
Injuries, a lot of injuries. They had injuries, but that was like an injury thing too.
But we were bummed out about it when everything was happening. But once the season was lost, it's like, all right, who cares? And it's not because you're less invested. It's because they have so much goodwill built up that if the team isn't competing for a season, you're not mad. Like that. Like this hurts a lot. This hurts a lot less than losing to the Dodgers in the playoffs. Honestly,
that and then when Vegas, which Vegas doesn't like to lose money, and they don't lose money. That's why they're still in business. Vegas, when they set the odds to where super team Dodgers favorite plus 210. Then you look, it's like, well, who's plus 300 right behind them? It's the fucking Braves. Meaning, if the goddamn team that now they've won it 2 years in a row, but like if the fucking team with the best player of possibly this generation, along with two other MVPs, one coming from the Braves, if there's one team that's gonna stop them, it's gonna be them goddamn Braves. I want to be in that type of company.
Yeah.
I want to be to where if the Chiefs are the favorite in the NFL every year because they have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, then we're the Bills, we're the Ravens, we're the Eagles, we're you know what I mean? We're the like I want to be in that conversation to start the year every year, even after a down year. The Braves had a down year the year before that. Like we lost in the playoffs in the first round to the Padres, and they were still second. Like they were still fucking second, and so like. I want to be a part of that conversation. I would rather be disappointed in the Braves like they were in the 90s for going to so many and not winning them as opposed to just not being in the conversation. I want to be at the table even if I don't order the biggest steak. I want to eat. I want to eat a little bit. I don't want to be looked at on the outside and not be able to afford it. Like, I don't want to be in that conversation. So be it.
Well,
and that's where we're at.
Yeah.
We don't have anything to bring to a football conversation to anyone aside from just knowledge of the game when it comes to just talking about our team, because it's just like, oh, all right. Well, anyways, we're talking about winning football over here. We can't have that conversation.
No. And the worst part is if somebody who's not a Falcons fan, right, is like, man, what's up with the Falcons, man? Y'all got Drake London, the pass rush, Bijan.
Whole nine.
It's like, how much time do you have? Let's start with Rich McKay.
Rich McKay. Yeah, that is where this stuff starts, though.
Who's Rich McKay?
Let me school you. You remember when the Rams won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Well, his daddy used to own the team.
Yeah.
And he kind of took over football a little bit. He gets credit for being the GM. Tony Dungy built it. John Gruden executed it. But he gets credit for it because he's a part of the organization and he had a title. So from there, he wins the Super Bowl. Goes another year after that. Gets hired by the Falcons. He's the GM.
To the same job. In the same division.
Job, but he just comes to Atlanta because Arthur Blank was basically new to the owning game. And he fired Dan Reeves.
He probably went through the league office to get somebody.
Which obviously he's highly respected. That's why he's the head of the competition committee. But that's what his fucking job should be. If he's that respected, let him work for Roger and Roger own. And I guess the owners. But don't let him work for one owner. Like,
no, don't let him work for my owner.
And then we
owner of my favorite team, sorry.
And then we get to hear more and more about Roger you get to hear more and more about Rich McKay stepped away. Rich McKay he doesn't even deal with football. He deals with the fucking stadium and the business. He deals with the soccer team. The soccer team's fucking went down. I want you to really think about, let's take a deeper dive into Rich McKay. They said that he moved over to soccer operation. This nigga don't know shit about no goddamn soccer. But somehow he moved over. Now, that's translation for we said football. He went to football. Meaning he was always still on the football side of things. But they'll sit here and lie, spit in our face, and say he's dealing with something he knows nothing about. Don't worry about him. No. There's not enough outrage because this isn't New York City where people are writing articles and calling for people's heads and getting that serious about it because, we can still go to Magic City. We can still, and let me not just make it a black thing. I mean, you can still do kind of whatever. It's really about the party, right? It's about, it's a cheap game experience. We could tailgate outside, have a good time. There's ass shaking. We can get good with the other fans, even though we suck. Stuff's getting old. It's getting old, and that's why I said what I said earlier.
Do you think we could create or try to inspire a more angry fan base?
Yeah, if we go to the game, the Seahawks game, that's the next home game, and we have bullhorns, and we're yelling. And we're picketing, and we get a flash mob or something to do the Thriller with us while we hold up signs doing it. I bet that would catch a lot of people's attention.
Hey, do you think we'd get arrested if we
shut down traffic on Northside Drive?
Well, no, I wouldn't do that. Only way I'm shutting down traffic on Northside Drive if I'm walking out of 10 because one of those ladies in there poured me too heavy.
Well, wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby.
But nah, but if we had Rich McKay in a noose, do you think we get arrested for that?
Oh, absolutely.
That's our free speech.
Yeah, but we get arrested for that, Lee.
Yeah. I don't think
hold on, Rich McKay in a noose.
I don't think we get convicted
in a noose, Lee.
No, I wouldn't do it. I was just really thinking do you think you could actually get it off?
Not in a noose, no. And it depicts him, no.
I remember being at a high school football game once, and a parent was yelling off with his head directed at the head football coach.
Yeah, but I mean that's.
I know. I'm just. Again, I wouldn't go out there and bullhorn and protest with Rich McKay in a noose. That's irresponsible. Okay. It's just the South. It's insensitive. It can just go.
It's not right. Yeah.
It can just go too many ways. You can't make hanging jokes anymore. 20 years ago, you could make a joke about hanging somebody.
Oh, hanging?
Yeah. But this took a dark turn.
Well, did it take a dark turn, or is it one of these things where you're sick and tired? You're just tired of the same old same.
We're
just tired of the same old same.
Can we make a Dan Reeves type hire?
So, all right, this gets back to what the conversation that me and Justice had. So then we moved on to coaching. right? In terms of, well, who do you hire? As it sits today, there are 3 people. I said, first of all, Dan Reeves is the last hire that we made. Yes, Ra was a coach before. He was a losing coach. Aside from that, we have not hired a veteran head coach since Dan Reeves. Jim Moore, Mike Smith, DQ, Arthur Smith. These are all coordinators. Now, you can say that we kind of hit on DQ because we did go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We went to the playoffs twice. He was 8-8 his first year, but like
but we haven't brought in a coach who's proven it.
And he's proven now, and even in his second set, yeah, he's got the injuries and whatever's going on in Washington. But I think around the league, everybody believes Dan Quinn's a good coach because I think he's a good coach.
Yeah. So let's get back to who we should go after.
So, but this gets to my point. No first-time coordinators. We missed out on that. You had McDonald and you had what's face in Chicago.
Yeah. So who are you thinking that's out there?
Well, we have to go offense. So obviously McCarthy's the first person that I know is a free agent that comes to mind. Now, the season's not over yet, and I'm not saying I don't believe that LaFleur shit, but who knows? Let's say he does come available. There's LaFleur. Obviously, he's somebody you talk to. If John Harbaugh, if somehow the Ravens don't make it and they decide to mutually part ways, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm just saying it could. If they decided, just like when the Eagles with Andy Reid, if they decide to mutually part ways, you don't let any of those guys, if those 2 become available, it's a matter of who wants to accept first. I would offer them both, and whoever signs first is who gets the job. But McCarthy is the only open free agent. I think Clint Kubiak wouldn't be bad. And if we did do a retread head coach, I know they're having a rough year, but Cliff is somebody I would talk to. And then the other idea, if we went the avenue of college.
Don't go Cliff.
And if we went the avenue of college, there's only going to be so many people that, depending on how they looked at the draft process when we drafted Penix, why not just call DeBoer? I just call him at this because let's see if he wants to leave. Would he leave? He's had success with Michael Penix at 2 different places. So like
the road
I would call DeBoer too. If you're gonna look in the college ranks at all. I'm not saying do it.
What are your thoughts on I don't know if you saw it, but it was from 680. I sent it to you. Hire Todd Monken to be the head coach, bring Stetson back home.
I don't want no, fuck no. Who was that? Fennerin? Who was it? Or was it Matt Turner? Who was it? That said
I just sent it to you. I didn't listen to it. I was reading it with the volume off because I'm
fuck no. Fuck no.
What about Kirby?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Kirby's leaving Georgia for any job. But like
he's not gonna leave Georgia for a job that he knows he's gonna get fired from. So like people with the Kirby shit, that's stupid. It's just dumb take. And I don't think Kirby works in the NFL either.
I don't know if he doesn't work in the NFL. I think that because he would in the NFL.
That was an aside. It wasn't like a.
No, I know, but I'm saying I think that he's more of a CEO coach if he comes to the NFL. That he CEOs it more than I'm gonna call the defense. Not that he does it at Georgia, but like.
Just his style, though. His style is like it's physical football. It's very in your face, like.
But I like the idea of no BS. That's what the organization needs. They need a no BS attitude.
Yeah, but that's hard.
Rich McKay is 100% BS. Like he's 100% BS.
You want to know BS attitude, but you have to understand that a college coach coming up to the NFL who has limited NFL coaching experience, excuse me. He was in Miami with Saban, if I remember correctly. Kirby is too accomplished. I just think he's too accomplished to go to the NFL because his style may not work for certain players, especially players who haven't been coached that way. Mm-hmm. And Kirby's the type that would want to get rid of NFL players but the way those contracts are set up.
Well, he's damn near dealing with it now, though, technically.
But he has.
For what it's worth.
He can replace the players in college, and it doesn't fuck up his salary cap. Yes, the money spent, whatever, but I feel like at this point these contracts are super conditional. Like the NIL money, like they're tying conditions to the money.
Okay.
It was actually, I think it was better for a lot of players when it was brown bag money. Besides the fact it wasn't getting taxed. But because it's above board, we can put conditions on this money, and we can give you an advance, and we can hold you liable to pay us back. Whereas if you gave me $20,000 on a visit, while when I went out to the ranch to go shoot skeet,
mm-hmm.
you couldn't give me this money, so you can't make me pay it back.
So, but again, that's why it gets to the point of where I look at it from the standpoint of Kirby doesn't leave anyways.
But I said I was about to say that Kirby to the Falcons should not be a conversation unless it happens, unless he takes an interview,
mm-hmm.
or he signs a contract. It should not be a conversation because it's stupid.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that that's even a consideration. What I do think is a consideration is, I think that Frank DeBoer, depending on how this season ends with Alabama, you got a legitimate. No, I'm just saying, if we're going to do college, if there's going to be anything college,
you shouldn't do college.
You shouldn't. I agree. But I just laid it out. Yeah, I don't want anything but a veteran coach. And Mike McCarthy fits the mold in terms of who's available today, like as we sit here today. Like Virginia, I tell you, and I know we're gonna get to college here because I know we knew that we were gonna do this first hour damn near all Falcons, but like you look at Virginia Tech, they zoned in on their guy. There was no fucking waiting. They didn't need to be like Florida, LSU, Auburn. They didn't need to do it. You know why? Because they were like, well, hold on a second. We've got a program changer. We've got somebody we know will at least get us to something that we want.
Yeah.
At this point, yeah, I want to hire the coach that's going to win us the Super Bowl. But, like, no, man. Let's get somebody that's going to win us some games. Like Mike Smith, although not a veteran coach, he was a great coach, starter coach to start the shit off with. The defense was good in Jacksonville. Like everything was right about him.
Get to the next point with Justice that y'all talked about.
That was it. That head coaching wise, we knew that we needed to figure out to get a veteran head coach was what I wanted. Like I'm saying, like we needed a veteran head coach, and Mike McCarthy to me makes the most sense. He's won at every stop that he's been at. He's won a Super Bowl. Yes, Dak Prescott and Aaron Rodgers were his quarterbacks. Yes. But
they got better with him, though.
They got better with him, and they were winners. They won games. Like,
he's a good coach.
And that's what we want. Like, we want to win games.
And Mike McCarthy did the one thing that a lot of coaches don't get to do is his contract ran out. He didn't get fired. They went back to the table. He wanted to stay. They went back to renegotiate, and they couldn't come to a price.
Lee, what I would give to see the Falcons get blown out as a 1 seed against a 6 seed fucking hot Packers team or hot any team at this point.
But hold on. Let me get the coach. Like let me get some mic today, man. I got some. I want an offensive coach. Theoretically. I really do.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers is hurt. Non-throwing arm. We don't know how long it's going to be.
I don't think he gets fired. That's
hold on. Steelers fans aren't happy with Coach T. He might need fresh air, and he might say, hey, I need a quarterback. And I think a healthy Michael Penix could possibly be what I'm looking for as far as a talent, because hey, Coach T is going to ask him to do a lot less.
Okay.
I mean, just the way that he coaches and plays football, he plays complementary football, unlike the Falcons. He can pretty much rely on his kicking game and in previous years his defense to help him keep games close, on and so forth. But if Tomlin becomes available, fuck all of those offensive people, because the most important thing that the Falcons need is a culture and a standard. And Mike Tomlin creates a culture and sets a standard. His quote, "The standard is a standard." We saw something this week in the interview when they asked him about the Jalen Ramsey thing, and he said, "Somebody spit about you. It's not about football anymore." Which pretty much is beat his ass, and I don't give a fuck. Yeah. I'm sure the team found a way to cover Jalen Ramsey's fine. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like what the Falcons need more than anything, and you talk about bringing in an experienced coach who's done it before, is they need somebody who can shake up that building, but have the immediate respect of the players who are there and the other people who are contributing factors who don't get fired when regime changes, you have front office people who still stay, some scouts get to come back. They get to, re-interview and stuff like that. But we need people who are going to buy into a culture. So it's not just about wins and losses. It's about the way you play football and being consistent and doing that regularly. For the most part, what you're going to get out of a Steelers game. Even though their defense sucks this year, you're going to get an ugly football game still.
Well, see, but that's why I agree with you in terms of culture shifting.
I don't trust Mike McCarthy to create a culture, by the way.
Well, the point is that that's not who I want to do it. I want the GM to do it. We need a GM that's going to do it. I think, yes, hiring the right coach, of course, that is all the difference. But we need somebody with direction and management, because that's where the issues are. Even with that management, we hired the right coach. That's why we went to the Super Bowl. Now, we didn't win it, but that's where the issues come in, to me. It's been more of a management thing than it has coaching even. This year, Rich is rich, but Terry hasn't been the issue, right? We would agree it's been over since he's been the GM, the coaches have been two misses. Yeah. You had two misses at coach, but the GM's providing the talent. So
but and with the two misses though, he's a first-time GM who came from a franchise who had a coach.
And that's why they didn't want to hire Bill.
So to his credit, or to shoot him some bail, Terry's not familiar with a head coaching screening process. I know, he knows what right looks like, but knowing what right looks like versus pulling that from the interview, and Sean Payton Terry wasn't in on the meetings when Sean Payton got hired. He learned, he got to, Sean allowed him to move up in that organization. Okay.
Well, Loomis is who, that's who he worked. He worked with Sean, but
but if Sean Payton didn't because he was the top non-GM person, he was top personnel guy.
Yeah.
You don't get that job without
director of player personnel.
Yeah, you don't get that without Sean Payton.
And the Saints, for the longest, did a very good job of drafting. I can't say. Hassan Reddick, I guess he was all right, but they reached like shit when they drafted him. That's just one player. And every GM, I mean, Howie Roseman drafted Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. So every GM gets a fucking gaff. But I guess my thing is this. We need to get a football person in. If he wants another Rich McKay, you brought it up before. Let's bring Bill Polian in. Let's get somebody, even if he's not the GM.
He's too old.
If you need a right-hand man for football, let's get a guy that's done it. Because like we said earlier with Rich McKay didn't build that team. We know that he didn't build that Tampa Bay team. And more importantly, that was 20 years ago. And we've never had anything that resembles that Tampa Bay team. We went to the Super Bowl once, but in that 20 years that he's been here, we've never had a team that's even resembled that. So, which goes to show that he didn't build it. Because what did Hove say? He said, motherfuckers saying they made Hove say, okay, so make another Hove. He didn't make another Hove. He didn't.
So
neither did they.
So what do you think the Falcons do for the rest of the season? What does the rest of the season look like?
The rest of the season is figuring out who the fuck you're going to keep that's got expiring contracts. Kirk Cousins, go out there and make you some money. That is what this is at this point. What else?
Hold on. Do you think Kirk gives us a chance
to do what? Win some games?
Yeah.
I think the Falcons at most will win 3 games. I think that this is a 6-11 football team at best. Because we played New Orleans twice, he could get one against one of these teams that we shouldn't beat, because we beat the Bills and we beat the Vikings, which were 2 games on paper. We were underdogs. We were over 5.5-point dogs in those games, and we won them, and they were both on national TV. So who knows? We could upset Tampa, right? It's still a division game. We could beat the Saints twice. Who knows? Maybe we do beat the Seahawks when they come here. Seahawks are the best team in the NFL on the road. Maybe we get the Rams at the end of the year as a little.
Oh,
yeah,
so
we fucked up that draft selection.
So you don't
the pick.
So you don't even know like what the 3 games are. You're just like shooting in the dark, like the 2 Saints games and a lucky one.
Well, we got the Jets too, but like
they got Tyrod Taylor.
But Tyrod's going to be starting in those games, and who knows if Justin Fields was starting, he'd probably have a career day against us too. I mean, Bryce Young did it, and I'm sure that Justin Fields would love to light up his hometown team.
Hey, yeah, you bringing that up. What as we get into the reactions from last week, is Justin Fields finally officially a fucking bust?
He should have been one. He's on his 3rd team in 5-6 years.
Yeah, can we finally? And this is no disrespect to him, the man. He's a great athlete. He was supposed to get drafted where he got drafted based on his body of work, but it didn't work out. And I've said this on this show, and I stole it from Jeff Teague when he was talking about Anthony Richardson. But I do think that athletic quarterbacks who come into the league and quarterback does not work for them, they should play teams should be creating the Taysom Hill role for guys who it's either a backup and you make backup quarterback money and you never get to play, or you play sometimes in packages. Although you're not a traditional quarterback, you don't do all the things the quarterback does. You get to throw the ball. You still are the backup, and you get to play and have an impact.
Well,
Justin Fields lining up in the slot, going in motion, lining up in the backfield, on like some doing weird motion, like that creates problems for defenses because he runs as good as any other athlete. But now you throw in the fact that he can throw the ball better than a wide receiver could on a reverse. You know what I mean? Why wouldn't Anthony Richardson do the same thing? Dog, if you want to play football, Not be in the NFL. I'm talking about play football. Quarterback is like the only position to where you can't go do something else. If you're a running back and you can't get on the field, well, maybe you can be a kick returner. Or you just hop on special teams and just go tackle people until you get to run the ball. You still get to play football.
So
but again, last point, I'm sorry.
the
The last thing is, bro, like I understand that there was a time to where the league did not want black people playing quarterback. And a lot of black quarterbacks were forced to change positions. Tyrod talked about it today after being named the starter. He was like, people wanted me to change to wide receiver, but I've been here 15 years. Like Tyrod Taylor,
and he's steady.
Yes. Tyrod Taylor is up there with your boy like Chase Daniel. He's known
but
as
better. He's played way more games.
Oh, yes. He was a star. He actually was a starter.
He took the Bills to the playoffs.
Yeah. He broke the streak, the drought.
Yeah. But because I didn't want to cut it off because I knew we were talking about the Falcons and the schedule and where the wins are. But to get to that point.
Oh no, bro! I was pivoting us out of Falcons. We stayed there too long.
We're not
like going in circles. Like we've got to get out of the Falcons. Like we're
for sure. No, for sure. Because we
Justin Fields to make us talk about the league. We're Falcons out.
So and there goes the point. We're Falcons out. Mic drop on that because we are. Yes. We're Falcons out.
Can we really talk about what I wanted to open the show with today, but because I don't have the free time that I used to, that I just didn't really express it and go and talk about it?
We can. Let me just at least finish off what you literally just said, at least when it came to the idea of what Jeff Teague was talking about in terms of carving out a role for somebody like a Justin Fields, whether it be in a Taysom Hill type state. In The Dark Knight, the Joker says this to Batman: I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve. There's going to take a time, or there will be a time, where there is a coach that's going to be innovative enough to understand an offense and use players like Justin Fields to the point at where they aren't necessarily even Taysom Hills. They're going to come into the game, especially if they add an extra NFL game with the way that quarterbacks go down. And you will have games where Justin Fields actually throws the ball 6 times, but the starting quarterback throws it 25 times. That's my belief. And I'm not trying to be the Bitcoin buy $1 today worth in 2013 guy. But eventually, I feel like that is where the NFL is going to go because they're going to have no fucking choice but to go there. And in college football, it's already – we've seen scenarios where David Green and DJ Shockley get some snap. Like, you see it in college a little. Alex Orgean, Michigan with J.J. McCarthy. Like, you've seen it before. Like, it's happened. Or Tim Tebow with Chris Leak.
Yeah, I'm about to say a better version is Tim Tebow with Chris Leak.
It happens. But the thing is, exactly, it's unpredictability. It's going to take a special offensive mind to actually make it look good. Because plenty of people can put together the Wildcat, right? Like, they used to run that shit in Miami. I don't know. That wasn't under Saban, I don't think. But
no, that was when Parcells was running Miami. He wasn't a head coach, but that's when he was down there running the pro.
I forgot who the coach was. But then they were, Ronnie Brown, Carsville's own, getting direct snaps. And so, like... And
for a year and a half, that shit was working. Like crazy.
Yeah, they went to the playoffs the year they did it. The first year. But like anything else, the league finds out. But that's why I said I'm not a monster. I'm just ahead of the curve. You watch.
And to close that one out, here's the problem with that work. One of the reasons why it won't work in the NFL, not because it can't be successful, is because even if the coaches have the plays for it, Andy Reid's quarterback is too good to do anything like that, Sean Payton doesn't have Taysom Hill on the roster. So, like, you got to be a coach who's not afraid to get fired or super stable in your job to make that a thing, because it is so against football culture. Like, oh, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have 0 quarterbacks. The
But it
starting
wouldn't be
quarterback
2
has all the
quarterbacks.
reps. I know it wouldn't, but people would say that, and it's like, why would you waste practice time on this package and this and that? Like, do you think your starter wants to give up throws? And it's like, no, y'all coming up with all these fake ass excuses, and I can understand the starter not liking it. But didn't Drew Brees line up in like at wide receiver sometimes for the Saints, and Taysom Hill took the snap?
They knew they weren't going to throw it, but yes.
Yeah, but didn't they do it? Didn't Drew Brees actually like line up as a wide receiver?
Yes.
If Drew Brees can do it, I mean, Tom Brady did it. He caught a pass.
Yeah.
Who the hell are you? I mean, Big Dick Nick did it.
Well,
He's got a trophy. A Super Bowl MVP, and a fucking statue. Nick Foles. I just think quarterbacks need to stop being just quarterbacks and be football players. I think this narrative around quarterbacks can't get hit. They have to do things a certain way. I think it's bullshit, and it was created back in the day when they wanted a certain type of quarterback who was built a certain way, and those things were true. And obviously, if you take a lot of hits, your career is going to be shorter for most people. But like when people talk about, oh, Cam Newton took too many hits, did the nigga played 13 years in the NFL? That's not bad. Or 10, 12 years. Like, bro, like getting a fucking 10, 12-year professional football career is fine. But let's get to what we're really mad about.
Well, we already got to what we're truly mad about, but I know exactly where you're headed here.
I was more mad at that Monday night debacle personally, because I'd already given up on the Falcons season. Yes, I was pissed off that they lost to Carolina twice. Yeah, like I was pissed off about that game, but it didn't change how I felt about the season, because to me the season was over. I gave up hope last week.
Now,
what were your thoughts on the Monday Night Football game in Vegas?
Well, we talked about it, obviously. I think that analytics are ruining football because people are looking more at what makes sense to go up more as opposed to taking points when the game is in hand. And then there's gamesmanship on the second time. But obviously the Cowboys did, I think, what I certainly thought that they would do, which was beat the Raiders, because the Raiders aren't a good football team. And the Cowboys aren't a good football team either.
Sure?
They're a solid football team because they're good on one side, bad on the other. They look good on the other side of the ball because they did play against the most turnover-prone quarterback and just a dumpster fire organization, something that the Falcons are becoming, like the Raiders, your Browns, these organizations that are just, they go decades without being relevant in any type of space. And even when they are somewhat relevant, they're still irrelevant. So that's the path that the Falcons are down. Thanks, Rich. But, I thought that overall it was despicable. The idea that it's 4th and 2 and you're up 17 and there's 4 minutes left that you don't kick a field goal. It costs you a fantasy game. Cost me $2,000 on a $50 bet. And then they turn it over on downs because CD drops the pass or whatever. And then they get the ball back and it's 2:30 left and it's 3rd down. And the ball has to get snapped before 2:30, and there's knees being taken, and there's three timeouts.
Remember after the 4th down, Dallas got the ball back.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, that possession.
Okay, when Dallas got it, like when the Raiders
they were they were in the red zone, and they need 4 straight times, even though the Raiders had 3 timeouts, and they got it on the other side of 2 minutes, not on the under 2 minute side, but the over 2 minute side. And the idea that, they didn't try to score again, which I get it. Maybe at that point I understood that just a tad bit more. But, boy, I don't understand it from the Raiders end. The Raiders end, they can't win the game, but they couldn't win the game on the drive before either, in reality. And so at that point, that's why when we were on the phone, I said, well, when it gets down to a certain point in the game, let's just knee it out the whole way. Let's just end the game. No, I'm saying before that turnover by Geno shouldn't even – as soon as the Cowboys went for it, the Cowboys should have kneed on first down that drive. Because it didn't – not only did it not make a difference, but the reality is even if the Raiders had scored, would that have changed anything in that game considering it was a 3-score game? No.
Well, but hold on. And see, this is what analytics are doing and people not playing, right? You play to win the game.
Yeah.
But the game is made up of plays. And as an athlete and competitor, you want to play those plays and win the play.
Yeah.
And hopefully you win enough plays to win the game, or you win the right play so you can win the game. We're losing that. Also, I listen to NBA players, again, different sport, but they talk about this all the time. Blowout, whether you up, you down, tight game, a little bit different, but you care. People care about getting their stats. So it can be bullshit time.
And you're costing niggas money.
But hold on, but it can be bullshit time in the game, and the starters are still in. They haven't got pulled out yet. And whoever your guy is hadn't hit his points per game average. You're like, oh shit, I only got 20. I need to get to 27. And I know we only got 3 more minutes. He gonna pull us because we ain't gonna come back. But it's enough time for us to make a run. Let me go get my points because I care about my stats. And again, basketball, you have a bit more control over that. But I just thought it was disgusting for competition. Like, these are competitive events. These are entertainment events. I understand the people inside inside the building on the sports side care about wins and losses, best player, all of that. But what allows you to make what you make doing this is the entertainment aspect that is built from competition. People like to watch competition. Humans love competition. Even non-competitive people are actually into competition. They're just not good at it, so they shy away from it because they don't want to look weak. You know what I mean? Like it's a human thing. Like, we like gladiators. We like boxing. We like fights. We like these gladiators. It's not just about winning and calling the right play at the right time. Sometimes, yeah, that's very important. But sometimes it's about, hey, I'm bigger than you. I'm faster than you. I'm stronger than you. I'm gonna beat you up. I got personal pride. You may have whooped my ass this game, but I didn't stop playing. And we've lost that because we've added fucking lean to goddamn sports.
Yeah.
Hey, this isn't a fucking assembly line. We don't have to be the most efficient outfit possible because there's a human aspect to this. Physicality can break somebody's will.
Physicality can break somebody's will. We're out here playing till the last whistle. That's what everybody says, right? So I was just playing hard. Bullshit.
Hey,
you're not coaching hard. Like,
they come after players for fucking up in games to mess up the gambling, right? Well, if a team stops competing, if both teams stop competing in the middle of the game, what's the difference? Oh shit. The over didn't hit by 1 point. Crazy.
One way or another, the consumer's the loser. Either way it goes, whether you bet on it, yeah, the under people are very happy. I'm sure that they are. But like the fantasy football owner that was going against the player that they needed and it was a 1 point, they're happy. But like at the end of the day, because there's winners and losers on all sides of this stuff. But at the same time, this is why what they're doing can be detrimental. just in general, because the idea is that, well, I signed up for 60 minutes, not 55, not 56.
Bro,
It's one thing to take a knee because you got a first down and it's a one possession game. It's another thing to where, well, we're in scoring position. Now we're just not rubbing it in. I hope that one day that Falcons Super Bowl. Now, Grant, it's the third quarter when that comeback started, at the end of it. But I hope that one day somebody blows a lead in the fourth quarter up 3 scores with 4 minutes because they were deciding to pussyfoot around. I hope it happens. I'm mad that the fucking Eagles didn't lose to the Lions. Not because I had money on the Lions, but more so because they went for it on fourth down, up 10, with 4 minutes left, and the Lions had all 3 timeouts, and they were on their own 30. They got stopped. The Lions kicked the field goal. They made it. They got bailed out by a bullshit fucking PI call on 3rd and long. And the Lions would have had a chance to tie that game and win it. Now, if he punts it, they have been stopping them all game. They didn't score or whatever. And I don't want to get away from the direct comp because I guess we can get more into just the recap real quick. But, like, that is the type of that's a fireable fucking offense for people. And like you said, there's incentives. There's a lot of things on the line.
Yeah, get
when
your
it comes to stuff. Play the game like it should be played.
Like coaches tell you to play to the whistle.
Lee, I know that it's a video game, but in Madden, if you're in the position the Cowboys were in, what would you probably do? I know it's a video game, but like, you probably would have kicked that field goal.
On 4th and 2, I kicked the field goal because this is football. I'm not going to give you a free possession. I don't want a turnover on downs. I'm going to take points.
Or he throws a deep ball.
No.
He scores on the first. No, I'm talking about once the Cowboys went, when they went for it on 4th down, didn't get it.
Oh, when they get the ball back?
The first play, he throws a deep ball. They score. Like, they waste no time. They get 10 seconds off the clock. Then they get the onside kick. He kicks a field goal immediately. He still has all 3 timeouts. Like, but now all he needs is a touchdown, as opposed to, well, he couldn't even kick a field goal after getting the onside kick.
Well, I'm just gonna run. Like, I'm gonna just and I know it's field position. Again, I'm gonna run the ball 3 plays in a row, make them call their timeouts, or get it down to the 2-minute warning. Then it's going to be 4th down. I'm going to kick a field goal. I'm going to fucking squib kick it to make them have to return it uncomfortably. I'm going to take that chance because I'm up by fucking 20 points under the 2-minute warning.
You secured a victory.
Yeah, like, again, if we're going to knock players, like players are facing legal stuff because they did not play to the best of their ability. And not the problem was that it affected the gambling because they were not playing purely.
Correct.
And we had an issue with that. I don't care if they were the reason why. The reason why it was a problem is because it affected the gambling.
And
this game here affected the gambling, and we're just, bro, no one's even talking about it. I haven't heard anybody complain about what the hell was Dallas and Vegas doing. I mean, was Shoddy out with fucking CD and goddamn Pickens?
Yeah, they might have made a bet on the roulette table that if it doesn't hit black, I see you boys got all black. If it hits red, I'm sending you out the first possession. I'm going to see if everybody freaks the fuck out on Monday Night Football. Anyone that has your bet, the whole 9. And Shoddy's like, look, guys, they gave me this job anyways. I don't take it lightly, but I've already made it. Made it. My dad was should be Hall of Fame coach.
Yeah.
He coached many years in this league. I've been an OC. He didn't win a Super Bowl with Seattle, but like I have coached all this stuff. I got
my offense is humming.
Jerry Jones, our boss is actually the same. Like, as crazy as it sounds, maybe I'm your supervisor, but our boss is the same. And at the end of the day, boss can get rid of supervisor because you're a top worker. because that is how it works. That's how it works in the warehouse too, or anywhere. Like anything, there could be a supervisor, but if there's a star, that's the way it works. And so it's just like, it's crazy from the perspective of what it is that we went through with it. I lose 2K, you lose a fantasy match, which leads to 2K because that betters your standing in our league pays out over 2K to win. Yeah.
Right.
So and, that there's money on the line potentially there. And so
and last thing here with the fantasy, the way that I beat you was total bullshit.
Yeah, I know.
But it was real football.
Yeah, he fumbled. I mean, it's
so like
he fumbled,
so you can so like you're obviously upset about it because it's bullshit. But you go, you know what? It was a football play. It happens in football.
It's an eye for an eye.
But when you watch,
I beat point because Bo Nix kneed 3 times and lost a yard on each knee.
Right.
That's how I beat on a Monday night game.
But even that is legitimate football.
Yeah.
They were up. They had the ball.
They took a knee, and the game was over.
And that's what you do in that situation. But
not on the top side of 2 minutes.
But I've never seen 2 teams just take like 8 straight knees. Pause.
Correct. Exactly. Like and no timeouts are spent. That's not playing until the whistle.
No, that's all the football I watch. So any and everything else is kind of on you. Well, no, I watched.
We're running out of time to begin with, but let's do this.
What time? How much time we at?
We got 30 minutes. So, yeah, so I'll just quickly go through it. We didn't even talk actually about the Falcons game in depth because we had so much to get off our chest about that fucking sorry ass organization.
Honestly, the only other game that matters is the Chiefs losing. Like, we don't even have to go game by game. The Chiefs losing.
No, yeah, we weren't going to go game by game, but because we kind of already talked about the Cowboys and the Lions game. But yeah, Chiefs lose. I mean, again, I wasn't that surprised. Like, I think that the Broncos are well coached and they have a good defense. So the Chiefs aren't a lead on offense anymore. So it's not surprising that maybe it's surprising they lost. It wasn't surprising that the Broncos covered. Like, I'll give you a shocker. The shocker was the Jaguars-Chargers game. I mean, the Chargers.
Hold on. I wanted to do a little bit on the Chiefs.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Do you think this is a step back season, or are you going to be like everybody else, afraid to pick against them and just say, I just can't pick against Mahomes and Reed?
I think that they're going to still get into the playoffs somehow, some way, because we talked about our Super Bowl 6 last week, and they were one of the teams I named. So I do think that I'm not surprised that they lost, but I think that they get into the playoffs.
Okay. All right.
Which gives them a chance to win.
Oh, but do you think if they get in, they have a chance to win?
Yeah, because this year's top 3 seeds, as it stands today, are the Broncos, Patriots, and Colts, and none of those teams, I think, can beat Kansas City in a playoff game, even at home.
Well, the Indy plays the Chiefs this week in Arrowhead.
In Kansas City, and we'll get to the picks a little bit later, but you'll see exactly how I feel about that game.
The Chargers suck. Their offensive line's not there. Jim Harbaugh can't coach without his O-line.
Correct. Steelers beat the Bengals. They're talking about Joe Burrow might play this week. That literally came down today. Now, they're only 3 games out, and they still have to play Baltimore twice themselves.
Yeah, you play Joe Burrow. If he's healthy, you fucking play him. It doesn't matter where the season's at. You fucking play him.
And Aaron Rodgers apparently tweaked his wrist. I mean, they said it wasn't a break, but it's not throwing arm, but like.
Hey, none of that shit matters. The Bengals could have lost every game this year. If Joe Burrow is healthy, let the man fucking play football.
And again,
the season ticket holders deserve that, by the way.
Well, he's getting paid.
Yeah, he's getting paid. Let him play. Like fuck tanking and healthy players not playing because we can get a better draft pick. Big dog, I bought season tickets to watch this nigga play. He's healthy. Put him on the field. All right, ran over. What else do we have to talk about?
No, all good. All good. Obviously, that's pretty much it for this week. Just quick preview of least games to watch. We don't have to go in depth about them, but Bills Texans tomorrow is interesting. CJ Stroud's not going to play, but I think that the Bills, obviously, kind of a must-win for them. It's crazy. They're 7-3, and it feels like a must-win for them because New England's got a 2-game, really a 2.5-game lead because they already beat them in Buffalo at that. Steelers Bears will be interesting because obviously Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears, but he's also injured, and I feel like this could be a get-right game for him. He is not a part of the picks. We're not even going to get into the Joe Burrow thing. What's another just game? Colts Chiefs, we kind of already spoke about just a little bit there. Another game to watch. Eagles Cowboys, I think, will be super entertaining, considering how well the Eagles defense has looked. And then Bucks Rams on Sunday night should be highly entertaining, considering how well the Rams have played. But what says you? What do you think about this week's slate in general?
I'll watch the back end of whatever 4:00 game is on my TV. I'll watch Sunday Night Football and I'll watch Monday Night Football.
Oh, gotcha. Well, then here we'll do a 2-minute huddle, 2-minute drill here for the college football. College football released their rankings again. This was the third one. Obviously, I think that at this point, the top 5 teams are here to stay no matter what happens, and that's Ohio, Indiana, Texas A&M, now Georgia at 4, obviously because Bama lost to Oklahoma, and then Texas Tech is 5. I don't think that there's anything that could really remove those teams. They're going to be there, but then it followed up with who was 6? Because I'm not looking at it. I think Oregon was 6. I know Oklahoma was 8. Regardless, the point is, and I don't want to put out misinformation on this podcast because that's not what we're about. But point being, that shuffle between 11 and 6 is going to be so jumbled up depending on how this season ends. Texas A&M, they escaped against South Carolina in a game that they were favored by about 4 scores. And
bro, why are you not talking about Kirby fucking taking a shit on Sark? Like you're talking about Texas A&M coming back and beating South Carolina. Nobody gives a fuck about South Carolina's sorry ass.
No, it's not about.
Let's talk about Kirby beating Texas, kicking the onside kick, 35-10, and then going into post-game presser and saying some coaches are giving out checks. You know, if you want to check here, you got to be physical.
Yeah, and
that's all that mattered this weekend.
And again, and look, and I went against my code of taking. You know, this is how you know that Falcon stuff's gotten to me. I took Texas 7.5 in our picks last week. We went 4-2 in both, by the way, guys. But unfortunately, obviously, Texas did not cover. But fortunately, they didn't. But it isn't surprising that Georgia won the game. I think that I was a little bit surprised at how much they dominated them, but it told us the story of Texas this year. Everything about Texas has been
not this
I'm
year.
not going to say fraudulent, but they're not certainly what they were ranked to begin with.
It tells the story of the SEC Texas. People like the idea of Texas in the SEC.
Yeah.
But Kirby said what he said for a reason. That was the SEC version of, bro, y'all ain't swag.
Because they're not. They're not.
Texas is like the most overhyped program of my lifetime, by the way.
But they didn't move too far down in the rankings. They're number 15. And so
they're not good.
Yeah.
They lost to fucking Florida.
But I want you to look at it this way. If there's a 3-loss SEC team that gets in, they will let them in. And the reason why is this.
Ratings.
Miami's not getting in.
Ratings.
I don't care what anyone says. Miami won't get in. There's going to take a lot for Miami to get in if they don't win the ACC. ratings, but it's the same thing with now with Notre Dame. Of course, they can say we lost to Miami, who is rated, and we lost to A&M. But if Texas beats A&M, because Texas plays Texas A&M Thanksgiving weekend, not only now, and it could kind of fuck up the college football trajectory if they win that game, because this is what happens. Even though Bama lost to Oklahoma and Oklahoma lost to Texas, if Texas beats A&M, Georgia plays in the SEC championship against Bama. So you get a rematch. But if A&M beats Texas, and as long as Alabama doesn't lose, I forgot who they play this week, but like if Alabama
wins out.
No, they play Auburn. They play Auburn next week. They're on bye now. They play Auburn. So as long as they don't lose to Auburn, Alabama's in the SEC championship. So it'll be Bama and A&M, assuming that Texas A&M beats Texas.
Right, and then
Georgia sits, which Georgia will still be a top 4 seed because they got rid of that good fucking rule.
Maybe not. Georgia might move up to 3, depending on
only if Bama wins. Only if Bama wins the game.
Well, Bama wins.
They'll be a top 4 seed.
Yeah, well, I'm saying they could move up to as high as 3 if no, never mind.
Yeah, if
Bama's gonna be above.
Bama would still be 4. Yeah, they're gonna even a 2-loss Bama SEC champion.
It's gonna be above Georgia.
It's gonna trump Georgia. Correct.
And they beat Georgia.
And they beat them at Georgia too.
Yeah, because like Indiana will drop if that game's ugly.
But they would drop to 3 to me at most if it's a close game. And vice versa. If Ohio State loses to Indiana, I don't think that either of them drops past 3.
Well, no, if it's close, they stay right where they are because they're 1 and 2, which is bullshit.
Nah, they can't do that.
No. If it's a close game,
only like you said, if it's close and
if it's a close game, then like they're not.
But that's if A&M. That's if A&M loses to Bama.
All I said was if the game is ugly, Indiana drops tremendously. Notre Dame is gonna get in as long as they don't lose because
what is tremendous to you? I don't think they drop out of the top 5.
They'll be 5.
They won't drop out of the top 5. That's still a home playoff game.
I got you, but it's still a big drop when you lost to the number 1 team in the country and none of the teams who are below you
got waxed.
Hey man, it's college football.
I'm just saying you have to get waxed in that scenario. But
hey, you want to talk about this Major League Baseball TV deal?
I did. I was gonna say that kind of for the ending here because it's not too much of a talk topic. I know that we're a little limited on time, but yeah. See, now I got to pull it back up. Hold on. But basically, long story short, it sounds like ESPN will now be carrying baseball games, which they kind of were on ESPN Plus anyways. It wasn't all of them, but now it sounds like the resolution to now it's called FanDuel Sports because that's what does the Hawks regional stuff. And it used to be Fox Sports, but
Valley too.
Now it's going to be just ESPN. It's pretty much covering all the regional blackout, all that stuff, games that aren't nationally televised, while Netflix gets the Home Run Derby, the Field of Dream games, and it was another game. Maybe it was opening day.
Yeah, it's opening day.
NBC is going to get Sunday Night Baseball, and then they're also going to get – it was other stuff that they get playoffs, like playoff first round or something, and it sounds like Fox is just completely out of it. So I'm like, or unless they aren't out of it and they still have the World Series, because it didn't say anything about the World Series.
I don't think Fox gave up the World Series.
So Fox will still get the World Series then, and I'm assuming that FS1 will still get when there's more than just the
bullshit national game on a Tuesday.
Yeah, but the fact that NBC is throwing its hat in there, I don't ever recall NBC ever having baseball games. At least maybe regionally they did, but like nationally they've never had it. So then I'm like, well, who's going to be calling it? Or is it going to be Tirico? Like, who the fuck's calling the baseball game? Hey, Tirico's never called a baseball game.
They got that. They did that merger, bro. They got cash. They can do shit. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, it seems to me like it sounds like Monopoly, but I could be
Yeah.
wrong. And ESPN also now owns MLB Network as part of the deal, which is the same as them having the NFL Network, basically, or the deal that's being discussed for the NFL.
What's going on in a lot of industries is oligopoly, and at the end of the day, people like you and I get fucked because now they just get to fucking
tax
control
that ass.
They just get they get to control they get to control the prices, and they'll they'll collude together on prices, and execs will bounce around from the three networks, the three parent companies. So they have all that inside information and friends who they just go to have drinks with, and may just say something, and then that influences something, but it's all bullshit. We're all just getting fucked.
Getting fucked hard too.
Hey, did you watch any of that? Did you see LeBron play last night?
I didn't watch the game, but what I did see was we took his over on his assists, and I saw you sent me the clip where he got 6 of them in 3 minutes or something. I mean this seriously. I think that LeBron is great for basketball because he's a staple in every generation, and he's one of the few people that a lot of people will be able to say they actually saw play, and that he did it at a high level for a long time. Now, this was one game, and he's coming off of an injury he's never had. It's a foreign injury to him. What I think is going to happen, because I didn't realize, did you realize that Austin Reeves, through this point in the season, him and Luka are both in the top 10 in scoring?
Yeah, Austin Reeves is averaging 28. Luka's averaging 34.
So this is what I think is going to happen. I think that LeBron's going to take on more of a role of Magic Johnson. And I hate to sound it like because he's on the Lakers, but I think that he is going to take on more of a role where he's okay with averaging 17, 12.
No.
No, I don't think that he's
no.
talk about clutch time, Lee.
Hey, look, you can make your point, and I'm just gonna go ahead and tell you LeBron James is not gonna average 17 fucking points a game.
I didn't say he was going to average 17. I said he was going to take on a Magic role. Now, I'm just naming a random Magic year.
No, he's going to average.
I'm sure that James. There were years where James Worthy and Kareem both averaged more than Magic. I'm sure that there's probably been one at least. And so
LeBron's going to average 23 to 25 a game.
We'll see. I think that the numbers are going to take a dip. It's just been one game. He had 11 points. Obviously, he wasn't very aggressive. He didn't shoot the ball that much. But what I took away from it, though, is that, and he was interviewed. They asked him the question after the game, how do you see yourself fitting in? Obviously things had been going somewhat well. How do you fit in? And he said that, my entire life, I've played positionless basketball. He brought up a quote from Spo, and he essentially said that, I am somebody that can fit into any situation, which is very true. LeBron has that versatility. Like, that is what's made him so special his entire career, because although he's the all-time leading scorer in the NBA, nobody thinks of LeBron as a scorer, right? And he's third in assists as well. LeBron's, on paper, is the greatest player to have ever played the game. There's no debating that. But I think that in year 23 that we get to see more of a he's already been passive. So passive isn't the right word, but just more of if Austin Reeves is the guy that night, he will take over when he needs to.
Okay. Yeah, you're not getting to your conclusion, and we're running out of time.
That is my conclusion.
Austin Reeves is averaging 28. His average is going to come down to somewhere between 25 and 24, maybe even 22.
So LeBron will be the third leading scorer.
Yeah, he will. Maybe. I'm saying. Well, you're saying that. I don't know what LeBron's number.
But you just said he was going to average 23.
Well, I don't know what Austin Reeves' number. I'm not as confident in Austin Reeves' number as I am in LeBron getting to 25. LeBron's going to get to 24, 25, bro. It's going to happen.
Lucas. It's
Hold on.
was waiting.
I got you.
I mean,
God damn. I gave you like 3 minutes on him. Shit. It's Luka's team. Luka's going to cook. Luka's going to average fucking 30. His 34 is going to drop to 30. Austin Reeves, 28, is going to drop. LeBron's going to get his 25. Now, Austin Reeves, his three-point percentage is shitty. Austin Reeves is going to get some easier shots. Luka's going to get some easier shots. And because Austin Reeves has been killing, LeBron's going to get some easier shots because you're going to have to double somebody. And if you do, the other options aren't great. You know what I mean? So the Lakers are just going to be a more efficient. Their offense is going to get more efficient just by the nature of LeBron James being on the court. And look, you don't need Luka and Austin Reeves averaging 34 and 28 long term. But LeBron also passive because the Lakers have been winning, and he's not going to come in and disrupt chemistry and play his way.
LeBron should be happy about it anyways. It preserves him even more. He doesn't have to go as hard, except for when.
Hey, where are we at on time? My iPad just died.
We got 9 minutes, but we got plenty of time.
Nike.
We got plenty of time, but
Steph's Nike.
For sure. But just real quick, all I'm going to say is this. I'm excited to see what the Lakers do. I'm still a Lakers fan. I want them to do well.
Oh, I thought your Lakers. Never mind. Let me not say that.
No, I'm still a fan. But
yeah, no, I was gonna say something, and it was not gonna be a dark joke, but it was gonna sound like it, so I don't want to say it.
For 1 minute, then before we get to Steph and Nike, Hawks. I mean, we have to talk about it. Hometown team, 5-game win streak. They lost to Detroit yesterday, who's super duper hot, but like
not hot. They're the best team in the East right now.
Well, Detroit, but I'm saying we were just as hot. I mean, the Hawks were on a 5-game win streak. They lost at home. Hawks have a terrible home record, which is so not Hawks. The Hawks normally win at home. But regardless, has management finally got themselves a winning hand real quick? They can do what they kind of want. They got the number 1 pick from the Pelicans. Trae Young's on ice, and they're still winning. So they kind of everything's in management's hands now.
I don't trust them, so no.
But we got a new GM. This is
same owner.
That's true too. All right.
You know, the owner who got rid of Slink, 2 years after the Hawks had like their best season in history. I'm sorry.
That's true.
Sorry, Dominique.
So Steph Curry, obviously you said the deal, reported 7 years, like 780 or something ridiculous. What do you think happened with Steph Curry and Under Armour? Do you think that he just wanted to leave, or did they?
No,
or he knew that he could get more, and they didn't want to pay it. Like,
no, it wasn't. It wasn't the money in the contract, right? Nike had to pay that deal, that dollar figure, because of what Under Armour is willing to pay Steph. But what Nike can do for Steph as he ends his career, he might actually get some classic shoes that will outlive his basketball playing, and that's what you need as a player to help keep you relevant as you're no longer playing. He wants to do his Steph Curry brand. I'm sure the infrastructure at Nike actually makes his brand become more viable as he's no longer playing, because Nike has the experience with the Jordan brand, with what LeBron has done, so on and so forth, and Kobe as well. Like Kobe, because that's the one that's killing. You know what I'm saying? But Steph needed to get away from Under Armour. Like, you're too good to be wearing them bum-ass shoes. Niggas ain't wearing Under Armour. Steph might shoot up the top the top NBA rankings just off of having Nikes now, because he's gonna have that whole campaign behind him. So shout out to Steph. Thank God I can finally get a Steph Curry shoe.
Yeah, and hopefully, I mean, obviously he wore Kobe's that first game as a free agent, but like, hopefully he gets a shoe that can be something of that mold, because although it's no shots at LeBron's had a couple of nice, a really nice pair of Nikes. But for the most part, I mean, maybe niggas do wear LeBron's. I never wore them hooping, but like, I'm talking about playing basketball. And like
LeBron, you got to understand, LeBron is 6'9", 260, 70 pounds, depending on what year it is, 250 pounds. The type of shoe that he needs is not appealing to most
I'm
people.
with you. Yeah, it's got to be fucking construction worker shoes. But like what I'm saying is even Caitlin Clark, who some people dub as the woman Steph Curry, her PE is a Kobe. Now, I'm not saying that you're gonna make Kobe's for Curry. Curry's gonna have his own signature with that amount of money. They have to fucking do it. But like,
they're gonna take that mold.
I hope that it's more of that design. That's all.
Cade also has a shoe coming next year too.
And he looked like he deserves it. Let's get to the picks.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Parlay Pete's College Football 6-pack.
666. All right, so we're gonna kick this thing off and we're gonna move swiftly. We got Oklahoma State at Central Florida. I like Central Florida to cover the number. Oklahoma State's a dumpster fire, guys. I promise you. Minus 13.5. Central Florida at home. Easy money. Next, we got South Florida at UAB. We cashed on South Florida last week. We're going to cash on them again this week. We're going to take South Florida minus 20.5 at UAB. Then next, we got Arkansas at Texas. I think Texas deserves a little bounce back love. Give me Texas minus 9.5. They're plus money here. I'm going to take it. Missouri at Oklahoma. I don't think that Oklahoma falls flat on their face. Missouri's got a backup quarterback. Give me Oklahoma minus 6.5 down there in Edmond. And then we got USC at Oregon. I really love USC plus 10.5. It's honestly odd that the spread is that big because I don't think that Oregon's proven enough. And then finally, this is just a layup type bet. Duke at North Carolina. Give me Duke the money line because Duke stays alive for the ACC championship.
All righty. I don't have anything to write with.
I'll send it to you. Yeah, I'll send it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Parlay Pete's NFL 6-pack.
666. All right, so we'll be really brief here too. We're gonna start off with the bang. So it's my upset of the week. I don't give a fuck if Joe Burrow is playing or not. It's a true story, and just because I have to tell it. The Bengals and the Patriots played last year to start the season. The spread was 8. Everything is symmetric with the start of that game last year at the start of the season. The spread is 8. I'm going to take the Patriots at the Bengals. Bengals money line. They're big underdogs here. Patriots have won 9 in a row or 8 in a row. Let me get the Bengals on the money line. Next, we got the Seahawks at the Titans. I'm going to take the Seahawks minus 13. They've dominated on the road this year. They are probably the best road team in the NFL. Next, we got the Colts at the Kansas City Chiefs. I like the Chiefs minus 2.5. I think that their backs are against the wall, and that's the type of team that can thrive against their backs against the wall. Next, we got Monday Night Football. Carolina Panthers at San Francisco 49ers. Somebody's going to show the Panthers who they really are. It's the 49ers. Let me get the 49ers 6.5 at home on Monday night. Next, we got the Giants at the Lions in Detroit coming off a loss like they did. They're about to run up the fucking score. Let me get the Lions minus 9.5. Can't believe that line's that low. And then finally, Eagles at Cowboys. I like over 46.5, sir.
All righty. You like it. I love it. It's time for Leads 3. Leads 3. All right. I got a minute. Give me Texas, Seattle, and the Niners.
There we go.
Check the description for those numbers. Hey, thanks for the great show. Thanks for the birthday wishes. Hey guys, sorry we didn't get to everything because we got
about 50 seconds.
We hate and love the Falcons, and
they deserve this show.
And hey, Steve, I didn't have anything for you today. Next week, we'll be back.
Yeah. And then also shout outs to the fucking degenerates that were in the YouTube comment section because I just pulled it back over and I'm looking at this dumbass shit that they put. Somebody said my favorite Kanye West feature is the 1940s German leader. Crazy.
Hey, yo, that's wild. That's not cool. But
You
hey,
know,
shout
it
out
is
to the people. Shout out to the people who were in the comments. We appreciate the engagement. But hey, we'll do this again next week. I'll holla at you, Pete.
Salutations, good people.